Outside of my day job as a university campus photographer, weddings are my primary source of income when it comes to freelancing. And just like many other photographers, I started my wedding career with a cheap DSLR and a nifty 50. Well, it actually was a Sony SLT A-mount camera, but more on that another time. I started my journey shooting Sony E-mount, and the rest was history. I went through the typical gear progression pattern of upgrading my kit lens to a more professional 24-70, followed by trading out the 50mm for the Sony 85mm f1.8, and of course, the Sigma Art Series 35mm f1.4, beloved by intermediate portrait photographers everywhere whose main concerns are bokeh and, well, bokeh. You see, I'd built up what I thought was the perfect kit for weddings and portrait shoots, but I had completely ignored the focal length recommended to me by so many professionals, the 70-200. It wasn't until shooting a recent wedding, which required me to stand a little bit farther back from the altar, I realized enough is enough. I cannot outrun my own stubbornness any longer, and I ordered the 70-180 f2.8 G2 lens from Tamron. This lens has been an absolute game changer for my wedding workflow. It's not only great for your typical wedding candid photos, but it has a remarkable minimum focus distance, so it's fantastic for ring shots and details as well. I find myself even going to this lens for bridal portraits over my 85mm f1.8, which for me is a shocker. When shooting weddings solo, I find myself running the Sony a7 IV with the Tamron 70-180 on one shoulder and the Sony a7C II paired with the Sigma Art 35mm lens on the other shoulder. As a matter of fact, that's the camera and lens combo that I'm filming this video with right now. The overall performance of the Tamron 70-180 is fantastic, and it punches well beyond its price point. At an MSRP of $1,399 US, it's by no means a cheap lens, but it is definitely a budget option when you compare it to the typical offerings in the 70-200mm range. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. I got a haircut. And just like the 20mm difference going from a 70-200 to a 70-180, you probably won't even notice the difference. Something you will notice is the weight difference. I used to not think much about the weight of my gear. I've primarily been a Sony shooter my entire career, so it was never really an issue. Lightweight cameras, lightweight gears, not an issue. It wasn't until I started my day job where my primary daily cameras are the Nikon Z8 and Nikon D6 that I started to care a lot more about weight. You see, back in April, I shot a local music festival, and that Nikon D6 paired with the 70-200 f2.8, it got a little bit heavy. Now, while the 70-180 is a lot lighter weight than the competition, it has a great build quality to it. It still feels hefty without being heavy enough to be uncomfortable. Sure, I wouldn't want to carry this around on me all day, but it's not too bad for a wedding, longer editorial photo shoot, or even a good old-fashioned photo walk. Which, speaking of photo walks, go on one. Go on a photo walk right now. Go create something. Then, when you come back, maybe buy yourself a new lens, as a treat. And maybe the 70-180 is a great option if you like your treats with a tight zoom and a constant aperture. Well, I think that's about it for as much as I can ramble about a Tamron zoom lens, but I wanted to take a moment to just say thank you for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, it really means a lot to me, and I just hit 63 subscribers here on YouTube, and let me tell you what, that is a number to almost make this grown man cry. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for watching.